Despite Jay-Z and his legal team pulling out all the stops to get this case thrown out, Judge Annalisa Torres has made her call. The woman accusing both Diddy and Jay-Z of rape can stay anonymous, at least for now. But here's where it gets even crazier. The woman's attorney, Tony Busby, has already filed lawsuits for over 150 people accusing Diddy of abuse. And now, he's taken things a step further and filed yet another lawsuit by suing Jay-Z's Roc Nation, accusing them of encouraging frivolous claims against his law firm. Both Diddy and Jay-Z deny the accusations, with their lawyers pointing to inconsistencies in the woman's story. But why did Judge Torres make this decision? Is she concerned that revealing the woman's identity could put her at risk or compromise the case? Everyone is asking so many questions. Could it be that Jay-Z and Diddy are really guilty? Or is this all just part of a messy legal battle? Well, there's only one way to find out. Stick around as we dive into the twists and turns of this explosive case. And hey, if you're into staying in the loop on big stories like this, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It really helps us keep bringing you the latest updates. So, this is one of the wildest stories making headlines recently. A woman who's staying anonymous under the name Jane Doe has accused two of the biggest names in music, Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs, of sexually assaulting her back in 2000 when she was just 13 years old. Shocking, right? But wait, it gets even more complicated. Jane Doe says she was living in Rochester at the time, but one night she found herself in New York City. How? According to her, she befriended a limo driver who whisked her off to an after-party for the MTV Music Awards. Sounds like the kind of glamorous night you'd see in a movie, until it allegedly turned into a nightmare. She claims that both Jay-Z and Diddy attacked her during this party. But here's where things getting messy. Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, didn't just deny the accusations. He went straight for the receipts, or the lack of them. For starters, Jane Doe says she watched the VMAs on a huge jumbotron outside the event. Sounds legit, right? Except Spiro pointed out that there was no jumbotron at that year's VMAs. Awkward. And then there's her dad. Jane Doe claims her father drove all the way from Rochester to New York City to pick her up that night. But here's the twist. Her dad reportedly told investigators he doesn't remember making that trip. Now, here's where the plot thickens. The woman accusing Diddy and Jay-Z has admitted there are inconsistencies in her story. Let's break this down. She says it all began when Diddy's limo driver offered her a ride to an after-party in 2000. Once there, she claims she even chatted with musicians Benji Madden and his brother. Sounds believable? Well, here's the plot twist. A representative for the Madden brothers told NBC they weren't even in New York during the VMAs. They were on tour in the Midwest. Strike one. Next, she says her father picked her up after the alleged assault, but her dad says he doesn't recall making that 5-hour drive from Rochester to New York City. Strike two. And the friend who supposedly drove her to the awards show? Sadly, that friend has since passed away, leaving this part of her story impossible to verify. Strike three? Or is there more to this tangled web? Do you think all this adds doubt to her claims? Or is there still truth waiting to be uncovered? So, initially, the woman sued Diddy, alleging he assaulted her at the after-party. Then, afterwards, she amended her lawsuit to include Jay-Z, claiming he also participated in the assault. But Jay-Z's legal team isn't having it. His lawyer, Alex Spiro, filed a motion demanding the woman reveal her identity or have her lawsuit thrown out entirely. Spiro argues that the case is full of holes and inconsistencies, making it impossible for his client to defend himself properly. So, here's the burning question. Is this lawsuit another piece of an already chaotic puzzle? Or are these allegations part of a deeper, unresolved issue? With major inconsistencies and both sides digging in their heels, this case is shaping up to be a legal battle that will have everyone glued to their screens. But let's talk about a key development in this case. On a Thursday, U.S. District Judge Annalisa Torres ruled that the woman accusing Jay-Z and Diddy can remain anonymous for now. Judge Torres explained that allegations of sexual assault are deeply personal and sensitive, and the plaintiff's mental health plays a big role here. According to her lawsuit, she suffers from depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and a seizure disorder tied to the alleged assault. The judge said these factors make her particularly vulnerable to the possible harms of disclosure. Here's the tricky part. Staying anonymous could make it harder for Jay-Z and Diddy's legal teams to defend them. The judge acknowledged that keeping the plaintiff's identity hidden could make it harder for the defendants to build their case. After all, how do you fight allegations when you don't even know who's accusing you? Judge Torres admitted this is a challenge, but decided it's too early in the case to force the woman to go public. However, since this case is still in its early stages, the judge ruled that anonymity is appropriate for now. That said, if the lawsuit moves forward, the woman may eventually have to reveal her identity. What do you think? Does keeping her identity hidden protect her or create an unfair advantage? And if the lawsuit moves forward, should she eventually have to reveal who she is? This case is raising some big questions, and we want to know what you think. Now, Judge Torres didn't hold back when addressing Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, either. In her written order, she called out Spiro for what she described as combative motions and inflammatory language aimed at the plaintiff's attorney. Torres made it clear that this kind of behavior isn't helping anyone and labeled it inappropriate. Despite these fireworks, Torres emphasized that the case has drawn significant public interest, which means the stakes are even higher. For now, the woman's identity remains protected, but the courtroom drama is only heating up. Meanwhile, Sean Diddy Combs is still sitting in a New York jail, awaiting his criminal trial on federal sex trafficking charges. And that's not all. He's also facing a wave of sexual assault lawsuits. Many of these lawsuits have been brought forward by Texas attorney Tony Busby, who claims his firm represents over 150 people, both men and women, alleging abuse and exploitation by Combs. The lawsuits against Diddy paint a grim and honestly shocking picture. They claim he hosted wild parties in New York, California, and Florida, where guests were allegedly given drug-laced drinks before being abused. Can you imagine the kind of scandal that would cause? But Diddy's legal team isn't backing down. They've called these lawsuits shameless publicity stunts and accused attorney Tony Busby of trying to extort celebrities who are scared of their reputations being dragged through the mud. And speaking of big names, Jay-Z isn't staying quiet either. He's firing shots of his own, accusing Busby of straight-up blackmail, claiming he's trying to force a settlement over the Alabama woman's allegations. But here's where it gets even juicier. Jay-Z's lawyers aren't just asking for the case to be thrown out. They're also coming for Busby directly. They've asked the judge to hit him with monetary sanctions, saying he didn't even bother to properly investigate the woman's claims before filing the lawsuit. Basically, they're saying Busby needs to think twice before filing more lawsuits. But Busby, he's not just standing his ground, he's throwing legal punches and taking names. In a fiery statement to Rolling Stone on Wednesday, he made it crystal clear he won't be bullied or intimidated by Jay-Z, Diddy, or their high-powered legal teams. Then, he took things up a notch with some next-level shade, accusing Carter's lawyers of filing a lot of junk with the court. His reasoning is that according to Busby, it's because they're paid by the hour. Ouch, that's not just a jab, that's a full-on haymaker aimed right at the defense team's credibility. And trust me, Busby isn't slowing down. Back in December, he told NBC News that the woman's case came to his firm through another attorney who had already vetted it before handing it over. In other words, Busby wants everyone to know this isn't just some spur-of-the-moment filing. It's a case with layers. He went on to back his client, describing her as fiercely adamant that her allegations are true, at least to the best of her memory. But wait, there's more. In a separate case, Busby is now suing Jay-Z's Roc Nation, alleging that the company encouraged one of his former clients to sue his law firm for financial gain. According to a lawsuit filed in Harris County, Texas, Busby claims Roc Nation worked with attorney Marcy Croft and the law firm Quinn Emanuel Urquhart & Sullivan to push frivolous cases against the Busby law firm. Neither Roc Nation nor Quinn Emanuel has formally responded to these allegations yet. And just to add another layer of complexity, the judge overseeing this latest case recently denied Jay-Z's team's attempt to dismiss it. So, for now, it looks like this legal battle is far from over. As this case unfolds, the stakes couldn't be higher for the accuser, for the accused, and for the legal teams battling it out. Will the truth finally come to light? Or will this case end up as another unsolved chapter in the world of celebrity scandals? What do you think? Are these accusations the start of long overdue accountability, or is this just a messy clash of powerful names and high-profile lawyers? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to stay tuned as this story continues to unfold.